watching NCN.
Water plays such an essential role in our lives. We use it for drinking, domestic purposes, as well as recreational activities. Today we're going to be testing water to see how suitable it is for the purposes of farming as well as its drinkability. I am currently taking a dip of water with the sample grabber. And this sample will be going back to the water quality lab at the Hydromet service, where we will perform certain field parameters to determine the suitability of this water for farm animals. Thank you. Now the water sample will go into the transportation kit, where it will be taken to the lab for further analysis. I'm Joanna Hope, a hydrochemist at the Water Quality Lab of the Hydromet service. So now we have our sample. It's here in the lab, so we'll be doing two tests. We'll be testing it for pH and for turbidity. So what we're going to be doing now is testing our water for turbidity and for the pH. Because when we talk about turbidity, we're talking about the cloudiness of the water, how the water looks, if there are any floating particles. This meter that we're using is a turbidity meter. So that uses light, and that light shines through the water sample to pick up any particles and to pick up how much cloudiness that water sample has. And when we test for turbidity, we're looking for a range from 5 NTU and below, because that's going to tell you that it's safe. It's okay for us to drink this water. Even though it might be a little cloudy, it's still okay for us to drink it. So cloudy water is okay to drink?
Depending on the value that you're getting, right?
Okay.
So we're going to transfer some of our water sample into this beaker, and that is going to make it easier for us to transfer it to the sample cell. So which part would you prefer doing? Transferring it into the beaker or into the sample cell?
I'm going to hold the beaker.
You want to? Okay, so I am. Okay. So before we even throw out our sample, we have to ensure that we shake it up, turn it upside down to make sure that all of the particles are evenly distributed. Because if, when you let water settle, everything will go to the bottom, so we won't get a true value for that water sample. So you can throw it over, fill it up to 40. Great. So now we have our sample that we're going to be testing. So you see there is a line here on our sample cell, right? Mm-hmm. This is up to where we're going to be filling up the water. Not more than the line. Okay. Because when you put the sample cell into the meter, the sample, it reaches exactly where the light will be penetrating. So now we will turn our sample. We'll make sure the number is at the front, put it in, and then you're going to press read. Now what turbidity is all about, it's about aesthetics. Because you want the prettiest water is the nicest water to drink. So what value do we have?
30.1.
And when I told you turbidity, what value are we really looking for that's the best water for us to drink? 5, right? So what does this mean? We should be consuming that water?
No.
No. So this is too high of a value for us to be consuming.
This is way too high?
Way too high.
crazy.
Exactly, very crazy. So
It
no,
has to be, so it could be like 5 and below.
yes, it could be like 5 and below. So if we test like bottled water, it's supposed to be 5 and below. Municipal water, which is water that the government, well, we're being supplied to drink, it's supposed to be 5 and below. Right? So now that we finished with our turbidity, this is telling us, okay, we can't drink it.
Right.
But let's test to see if pH will also stick on that point that we're supposed to be drinking. So the meter we have here is a Pro 1030, and it's a YSI. This is a field meter, right? So we would usually just take this into the field, like if we're testing rivers or conservancies, and it usually has a protective guard on it, and we would just throw this directly into the water and get our pH meter. But since we've brought our sample back, we can place it directly into the sample bottle to test the pH. And what you have to ensure that it covers, that the water sample is coming all the way up to the top to cover these 2 holes at the top here, right? So that you can get a proper reading. So again, ensure that your sample is thoroughly mixed.
So does this take water in, or it just needs to be on the outer surface?
It just needs to be on the outer surface. This meter doesn't take in any water. So there are probes like right at the bottom. Okay, let's just take it out once again. You see that at the bottom here, there's a bulb.
Right.
So that bulb is what's actually taking the reading of the water. But because the probe is a complete unit, you have to ensure all parts are being covered to get a proper reading. So that's why they're saying you must always cover the top with the water sample. So, yeah.
And how long does it sit in here? How long does it need to sit in here for to get the reading?
When you look at the meter, you see the reading, you just have to wait until it stabilizes.
Okay.
Right? So it's going to keep fluctuating, and then it's just going to stop and stay at that particular value. So we just have to keep looking at it until the value no longer changes. So for pH, the recommended pH level is between 6.5 and 8.5. Anything and that's telling you the acidity or whether the sample is basic, right? So for a pH that's less than 7, it means that it's an acidic substance. And for pHs 8 and above, that means that it's a basic substance. And neutral is 7. So that's perfect for us. Our drinking water should always be neutral, right? But the WHO has said that we can fall within the range of 6.5 and 8.5. That's fine. So it's at 8.60, and that is
basic.
Very good. So we know we're not supposed to be consuming water that's too basic, above 8.5, and we're not supposed to be consuming water that has a turbidity of over 5. So should we be consuming the water that's found in this?
No.
All right. Lovely.
So we round this off to 8.6.
Because
or
we
do
no.
you guys round off in this?
No, we don't round off.
But since this is like 8.5, it's still not drinkable.
Still not drinkable.
So you can drink from
6.5 to 8.5. Anything above that?
Oh, so from 8 point nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And there you have it. Water was collected from a canal on Crowell Street, and the pH and turbidity was tested. It was then determined that this water is not safe for drinking. Did you learn something today? I know I did. Did you have fun? I did.